Hello, my name is Steve. I want to welcome you to another YouTube channel. In this series, I'm going to show you some Lodestar programs I came across, and it gave me some ideas of basically starting maybe some Lodestar, I'm sorry, not some Lodestar, but some Commodore 64 demos. This was actually on Lodestar issue number 147, for those who are curious. Lodestar was a magazine subscription that ran for the longest time after the Commodore 64 started liquidating from the stores and stuff like that. People still had their units, but apparently at that time, the software, was kind of going downstream. Nintendo was coming in mainstream, and maybe other game consoles. I think it was Sony or something at that time. So Commodore 64 is kind of moving out of this game scene, even though they still sold, Commodore 64 games in that time. So Lodestar was a very long-running magazine publication. They started as Soft Disk and eventually renamed themselves to Lodestar. The editors were Fender Tucker and Jeff Jones. I believe he was the publisher. And of course they had contributors and people that would send stuff in. So I'm going to show you an example from 147, which since we're coming upon Halloween, I hope you might enjoy this. Now this is a sprite animation in this series. There's really no sound effects in this one, but I'm hoping what I want to do is start maybe creating my own after I finish, of course, the C64 User's Manual, very basic series I've started already, and then maybe move on to some kind of demoing and stuff like that. Now I'm still going to probably try to go through a book at a time if I can. So I'm going to be very busy. I'm going to try to do in a book and still try to get these demo things going to try to get some more attention to this channel. And just making it all about, think tank, where other people can come, like kids can come and enjoy it. Because this one is it's like a childish kind of cartoon. But anyways, let me show you that right now. I'm just going to switch back to shrink mode here. And I got my camera here, so I can't really shrink it. But I'll show you the pictures first. These are the actual pictures, some of the pictures screenshots I took from the game. Now these are actually drawn on actual Commodore 64 screens. The story won't make sense until you see the actual demo, but I'll show you that in a minute. You can see that these are basically drawn in the background with sprite special characters, or I'm sorry, Commodore special characters. And here's where you see one of the sprites, or actually two of the sprites. And these are all done in just special characters. There's no redefining characters needed. And you can see there's kind of like a little story going on here. But like when I said, you see the example, which takes a little bit of time. You'll see the whole thing come together. I just wanted to show you the pictures, and I'm using the pictures for my own idea of a story. I'm thinking about maybe making one on scenes from The Matrix, because I love that movie so much, and maybe get other ideas for movies later, but we'll see how it goes. Because demos are actually a lot easier to create than games. This is what I've come to realize. Plus, you can make them kind of funny. You'll see why this one's kind of funny. And see, these are still special characters. Now, there's a sprite for the character right there. And you can see there's actually, what, 5 different sprites here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, 6. I think this is a sprite, too. You can have from up to 0 to 7 or 8 total sprites. And that's the end of that. So let's minimize this, and I'll show you the actual program now. And enlarge this, so this makes this a little bit easier to see. Debating whether I want this to be super large or not. Okay, I think that's good enough. So before I go into this also, this is actually running on what's called Lodestar Complete, which I did show this before. Let's pull the disc out here for a second to show it to you. This was a CD that I had actually gotten from Lodestar a while back, and it's got all Lodestar's programs. Now, for people who want to know what that means, I've showed these before, but these are just some of my Lodestar discs. And then on the floor here, these are some more. So you're talking a ton of discs that are compact on this CD alone. Every issue of Lodestar from the beginning to the end. I don't know what the years are, but I know it was a very long time. It was like 1990 to 2006 or something like that, if I recall. We'll go ahead and run that. It's going to take a moment to run it here. I'm just going to speed it up to make sure it's working. And I'm going to pause here. Okay, now we're going to run it. Oh, I have it on speed mode. My bad. Need to take it off of speed mode there. Hopefully it reruns again here. So it's Huggy Bear and the Magic Pumpkins. Now it's going to change to more of some of the scenes you've seen earlier with the more first-person perspective. So you set up like these story scenes in the game to kind of illustrate, your story. And I like the idea of the special characters because they're so much easier to draw than trying to create your own graphics half the time. These were very popular in a lot of Commodore 64 demos. I think that might be a sprite there. It has to be. They got some humor in here. Everyone has skeletons in their closet. And I kind of change the scene again. It's got animation in it, a little bit of animation. So it's really missing some more full animation and sound. That's some of the things I'm going to keep in mind. That's a pretty cool scene there. So it's teaching lessons of a story here. See, it says don't steal a pumpkin, you should go buy your own, or make your own. Which is kind of funny because you have to go buy a pumpkin before you make it, and the pumpkin comes from patch anyway, so go figure that one out. Sorry there's no sound in it, another kind of boring watching without sound. I didn't create this, by the way. You probably saw at the beginning. It's just a contributor. That was a pretty cool graphic there. That's funny. Teach your little boy a lesson, huh? Yeah, I mean, it has originality to it. See, it's kind of moving him a little bit and shrinking him. It's kind of a weird story, you know. I think the whole idea was to demonstrate the graphics of the Commodore 64 at that time. This was in 1996. And that's the end of the story there. So, like I said, you can do this all creating just by graphics and, you know, this isn't going to be a tutorial to show you. I just wanted to demonstrate real quick here what they were doing on the screen there. So essentially, you would just turn off the background with that, and then you would just basically be just drawing on the screen. So let me just clear this to kind of show you what they were doing. If you look under the Commodore 64, I've showed this before, but there's hidden characters underneath here. And they were basically just taking advantage of these characters and utilizing them on the screen to draw the houses, churches, steeples, and everything you saw. And of course, if you set the reverse mode on, which I think is this one, let me see. Maybe it's control. Oh, it's tab. So if you set tab like that and you go like this, and then you set it off to 0, it will draw a line. So it's basically how they were drawing lines on the screen when you saw the pictures and everything. So that's kind of the end of that. I just wanted to kind of get an idea of what your thoughts are on that. But like I said, first I want to go ahead and I want to finish the C64 User's Manual. And I'll be coming up with another video this week since I've already put together some more material. I just wanted to kind of show you some of my sketches I did here. This is some of the sketches I was doing. This was just an example, like if I was going to make a school story and stuff like that. And you see the vision is to kind of tell a story. In my perspective, what I like to do is teach concepts of programming while I'm doing it. And then we're going to have Neo, I see here Neo and the Morpheus, the jump, and Neo knows karate, and just some of the funny scenes you saw from the Matrix. And we'll see what other kind of movies we can come up with. We'll see kind of where that goes. But I just wanted to kind of share that short video to you and see what you guys think of something like that. Would you be interested in seeing demos like that? I think it'd be kind of interesting to kind of get people's attention. One of the things I came to realize is I have an advantage over a lot of these animators out there. There's a lot of people making animations with Flash animations, a lot of things online. But I still want to keep this, channel as much as I can C64 based. So this is why I came up with the idea of trying to make these little C64 movies or these little C64 stories, demos, which are a lot easier to create than trying to put something together in, machine language or something, or semi-language. So anyways, let me know what your thoughts are on that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, please like and subscribe, favorite this channel, and, share it with your friends. And as I mentioned, I'll kind of mention this in every video. If you want to see me going through some more of these books, I'm going to pull out a different one this time since I was going to pull out the same book. I think I'll do this one. If you want me to start going through these books, like page by page, and then just try to recreate it, and this is just for the semi-language example one, go ahead and hit that like button, and go ahead and help increase my subscriber base by helping grow this channel more and sharing, because we're going to make the Commodore 64 great. Put the word great back in the Commodore 64 again. So thanks guys for watching.